Chris Fierce with IDI. Today we're going to talk about blower machine settings. Now, one thing I want to point out is when you're looking at a blower machine, you'll see all these production numbers. Keep in mind those production numbers are going as fast as possible, not taking coverage into account. So you being the contractor, you want to make the most of your money. You don't want to waste material, so we need to get the proper settings to make sure we get the right coverage out of our material. So how a machine works is we put the material into the hopper. There's agitators down here that break it up. At that point, it goes through what's called a slide gate or a feed gate. This here meters how much material is going to be fed into the airlock and actually into your hose. So on this 18E machine, there's a crank handle on the side that you can see that opens and closes that gate. And that's going to, again, meter how much material you have going through the slide gate. After that, it falls into the airlock, and then it blows out through the hose. Now the blower, the setting is right here. This will affect how much blowing pressure you're going to have. When you're blowing fiberglass material, you want to have 150 foot of hose on the machine because that hose does help condition the fiberglass material as it's traveling down the hose. At the end of the hose, you want to set your blower setting so that it's shooting out at about a 10-foot arc, and you can adjust that with this dial, and that's going to depend on how high up you're going, and if there's a lot of other factors are going to factor into that as well if you're reducing the hose at all. So the important thing is set your blower so that you're getting a 10-foot arc shooting out the end of the hose. So this 18E machine will do about 18 bags of fiberglass per hour. So now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the IDI 2800 machine, which will do about 45 bags of fiberglass per hour for the guys that need a little bit more coverage. All right, so here we're looking at the IDI 2800 machine. The machine works the same way as what the 18E will, it's just on a larger scale. It also has some extra agitation in there so that we can push the material through a little bit further. We still have a crank handle on the end, which is going to affect our material feed gate here. And then here is where you're going to set your air pressure. Again, you're going to want to set that and look for a 10-foot arc out the end of the hose. Now, when you're doing attics, a good rule of thumb is to set your slide gate at about 75% open. If you're doing sidewalls, usually at about 50% open. Those are good starter settings. By no means are you going to be exact on there. With L77 on this machine, we're usually on about 11 for the slide gate, and we're usually pretty close on coverage starting there. But again, every job is going to be a little bit different. You may have to fine tune it a little bit. One other thing I'll point out is on a gas machine, you're going to want to set the RPMs. On this machine, we're going to run it wide open at about 3,500 to 3,600 RPM. Other gas machines, diesel machines, PTO machines are going to be a little bit different. So you need to figure out what speed you need to set that engine at. Every machine is a little bit different. There's a lot of nooks and crannies to them. So if you have any questions, please reach out to your local branch. Give us a call. We'll help you out. Again, this is Chris Fierce with IDI, and we'll see you next time.